Framework makes a desktop. Microsoft decides to go free, and the 9070 is going to be less than $700. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Wednesday, February 26, 2025. And we're going to start off today reminding you of the PC giveaway that's happening this coming Friday over on our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/UFD Tech, 9800X3D, 96 gigs of RAM, RTX 5090, all in a nice height Y70 Taro Milk case. It's going to be a good time. Come join us 3 p.m. Eastern for that, or just come check us out over on Twitch right now in case you want to find out how to enter into that giveaway. And I'm not entering into the giveaway, but I definitely have entered my name into the hat to pick up Framework's new products of their desktop, not their 2-in-1 laptop, but they did come out with that, and they've also updated some of their other details. So this is something that when I heard it, I was very confused simply because it doesn't feel like it's part of Framework's ethos, right? Like this may be a bad take, but Framework seems like they're dedicated to advancing repairability and modularity, and the desktop is already like that. It's already there. So them participating in that is kind of weird, and it's even weirder when you kind of look at the spec. So this little 4.5 liter case has a ton packed into it. It's gonna be rocking a Strix Halo APU going up to the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 and up to 128 gigabytes of RAM and up to 16 terabytes of configurable storage with a Noctua cooler, all in this tiny, tiny chassis. This is one of the beautiful things that AMD's APUs is allowing. Really tiny computers that are going to have RTX 4060, 4070 level performance in a small form factor. I absolutely love this. However, there's one thing that kind of stands out again against Framework's ethos here, and that is the modularity of the mainboard. You cannot swap out the RAM on that Ryzen AI chip. It is just soldered LPDDR5X RAM. Framework said in a blog post that they tried to work with AMD on this, and they just really couldn't figure out a way to get RAM speed fast enough without it being soldered. Now, this is something that Apple gets a ton of crap for, right? You can't replace things on their mainboards. This is kind of the same thing that AMD is doing here, but it's for the same reason of you just miss out on performance when you de-unify the experience. Now, there is a slight difference, and by slight I mean major difference between what Framework is doing and what Apple's doing. Apple charges you an extra $200 to $400 to get a reasonable upgrade, whereas Framework says that they've been deliberate in making memory pricing more reasonable. When you go to their website to configure whether you want 64 gigs or 128 gigs on the AI Max chip, it is a rather reasonable price upgrade. Additionally, they're going to be selling the main board by itself for $800, which is incredible in my opinion. That sounds really good. Again, I am enamored with this. I am pro what Framework is doing here. I just feel like it kind of conflicts with what I thought Framework was driving at. It might make sense for them revenue-wise and as a business to expand into this, but it just feels a little like off the path for them, which you're free to disagree with me in the comments. I can absolutely see the other side of people saying, no, this is part of what Framework is doing. Totally get it. I just have a different opinion. I've already pre-ordered 2 of these bad boys, got a 64 gig and 128 gig, one bare bones, one with an SSD, and with all of the different tiles that can go on the front, because that is one of the big things, is that they have these little, you can 3D print your own little plastic tiles that go on the front to change the design of the PC however you want to show it off. Additionally, they announced a 12-inch laptop, which is a 2-in-1. It's going to be a touchscreen. It looks cute, different colorways. They also announced that the Framework 13 is going to be getting the Ryzen AI 300 series upgrade, and they also upgraded their dongle adapters for USB-C specifically, where it comes in various different colors. Even though the laptop only still comes in the same old silver, you can add some zhuzh and flair to that PC that you're trying to get from Framework. So a lot of good updates, a lot of good stuff coming out from Framework. I've already put in my $100 deposits on those 2 4.5 liter cases, but in case you're looking to zhuzh up your own PC, you know who does it better than Framework? Today's video sponsor, Falcon Northwest, because not only are they going to give you a PC that has the internals that match exactly what you need for your use case, they also have the ability to customize it on the outside to make it look as beautiful as you want, whether that's representing a rare disease organization or it's just Reese's big buttery face slapped all over the side panel so you get to stare at it while you play video games. Either way, you can make that happen. Get Reese's consent before you do it. But Falcon Northwest has been in the industry for over 30 years. They're dedicated to enthusiasts and gamers. They've been building PCs for a very long time, and they have stood the test of time because of of things like their tremendous customer service. 3-year warranty, 1 year of overnight shipping to them to fix something, and then back to you so that you're without your PC for a very limited time. And they got various different sizes. You could get the Mini T, you could fit a Founders Edition RTX 5090 in there. You get the Frag Box, which you can tote around with a little handle, or you can get the Talon, which is what I rock at home. Beautiful big case with, again, Reese's face on the side, or you could just make it your own, or you could put a Threadripper workstation in there in case you're doing some professional workloads. But Falcon Northwest has been around because they are around. They're part of the community. They are enthusiasts themselves. With the RTX 5090 melting cable adapters, Falcon Northwest was out there interfacing with all of the different outlets that are testing it. They were testing it themselves with various different power supplies and different graphics cards and seeing what's going on with the amperage and the cables. They are actively trying to protect the consumer and not just resting on their laurels of, hey, we built a pretty PC. No, they want to make sure that gamers are safe always moving forward. So you can check out Falcon Northwest for yourself at the link in the video description. Get a PC that represents you. Big thanks to Falcon Northwest for sponsoring today's video. And people are saying no thanks to ASRock for running their 9800X3D CPUs because there was a mega thread that popped up recently over on Reddit of various different ASRock motherboard owners complaining that their 9800X3Ds were dying on the ASRock board specifically, which this post happened to blow up with people suggesting that rolling back to an older BIOS was gonna fix it. Some people showing that the voltage might have potentially gotten too high. You might remember that there was a 9800X3D that exploded recently, and that was also on an ASRock board. ASRock has now responded with a new BIOS revision saying that they are rolling it out to potentially help with better compatibility, but rather it's not necessarily an issue with the CPU, but instead, don't trust the misinformation, it is memory compatibility issues. That's according to ASRock Japan. That's their statement on the matter right now, but they are actively working on it. BIOS updates rolling out for that in case you're rocking an ASRock motherboard and an X3D chip. Maybe go ahead and check on that. People were saying that they had their PCs running just fine for weeks, and then with the new BIOS update, they were having some problems. And hopefully, no problems with the RTX 50 series mobile edition. You wouldn't want another crap show of what's going on there, with pre-orders opening up for the 5090, 5080, and 5070 Ti laptops across various different manufacturers. You get a whole bunch, Asus, Gigabyte, HP. The regulars are there. We pre-ordered one of the Razer Blade 16s for a review once all of that drops on the RTX 5090 stuff. We are working very hard to make sure that UFD Tech is expanding beyond just hot news and into more reviews. Stay tuned. It has been a lot of personnel issues. That's been the difficulty of just like having enough people and time, and we're resolving it. And we should have something special for you next week, something that UFD Tech has never done before. You can guess what that is down in the comments while Reece saves you some money on tech products.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet. And I'm going to start today with something I've never included with deals before, but it's honestly surprising to me because I use this stuff every single day in my VR equipment. And it's a 20-pack of Duracell Power Boost Copper Top AA batteries, which you can pick up for only $9.70, making it $9.29 off. We got to save where we can these days. It'd be like that. But then if you also want to pick up a really nice case, you can grab the Sticklemonster Elite 301 Micro ATX case for only $54.99, making it a cool $10 off. And then lastly today we finish off with a fan favorite, the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. This 360mm AIO CPU liquid cooler is going for $110.10, making it $43.89 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can buy these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, it looks like Microsoft wants to give users a heck of a deal when it comes to Office by giving you ads so that you can get a free version of Microsoft Office on Windows 11 and Windows 11 only, which I'm hearing people groan already. Ad supported. This is something that has just become mainstream in big tech lately. You can't use it on Windows 10, but you get Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and a whole bunch of others for free. But it comes with some major caveats. Number one, you can't save files locally. It can only be saved in OneDrive. Awful right there. But then on top of that, some people have found out that there's over 30 missing features on this free version of Office, including things like formatting in Microsoft Word, line spacing, text wrapping, headers, footers, bookmarks, proper date and time fields, and hyphenation. are missing from Microsoft Office, the free version. Partially, it just feels like they shouldn't have made this at all, but you do get a banner ad that stays there the entire time, and every few hours it'll play a 15-second video ad. There are free alternatives out there that are just not as ridiculous as this. I'm sure this meets some kind of use case somewhere for some business where somebody needs this, but for the general public, wow. Which is what I'm saying about Samsung's accidental announcement of their new 9100 Pro PCI Express 5.0 SSDs. This is something that has been long in development. We've been waiting for Samsung to do it. Samsung India accidentally posting it, so Samsung Global had to then come out and say, yeah, we're launching this today. So the 9100 Pro is going to be their Gen 5 SSD with up to 14,800 megabytes per second read speeds, and they've improved the power efficiency to be 49% better compared to their previous models. So that was one of the things Samsung was doing. They weren't trying to rush a Gen 5 SSD out the door and deal with a ton of heat issues and heat dissipation problems. You can even see from the heatsink that they're going to be selling on the 9100 Pro. This is like a Gen 4 heatsink. It doesn't look as robust as a Gen 5 one because those are usually like 3 times as thick. Maybe this is not going to be completely solved. Maybe they do consume a lot of power and they need to be actively cooled, but hopefully Samsung took their time and developed something good to replace the staples that people have been putting in their PCs for ages of the 970, 980, 990 Pros that people like to use. It's going to be in 1 terabyte up to 8 terabyte capacities, and it's going to be available starting in March, and that 4 terabyte capacity is going to cost $559, and the 8 terabyte is going to be available later this year. But you want to talk about things that are priced? We now have details on what the RX 9070 series should cost, allegedly according to one of AMD's own slides. Obviously, we're waiting for AMD's official announcement this coming Friday. Again, we're giving away a PC this coming Friday. Check us out over on our Twitch stream. But AMD having their presentation on the RX 9000 series with the launch taking place next week. But in a slide that you can find in AMD's repertoire of what they're trying to talk about with the RX 9000, similar to what we found with their benchmarks, comparing it to the 7900 GRE, they show that at the bottom here, you can see just under the video cards watermark, more accessible. 85% of gamers buy GPUs under $700. So the theory is that the reason they're including this is because that's the price point that they're targeting with the GPU. Hopefully that means the 9070 XT is well under $700. I think $649 is as high as I think AMD could reasonably go and still gain market share in this current climate of what GPUs provide. 9070 XT should provide somewhere in that 5070 Ti level performance. That's going for $800 theoretically, but really $930. So $650 for the 9070 XT, if it actually comes out at that price, would be phenomenal. And then hopefully the 9070 is somewhere in the region of $549. Now there is a Best Buy internals pricing that showed the 9070 XT at $739. I don't know if that's necessarily to be trusted. I do think the under 700 makes the most sense. And if we get 5070 Ti level performance for allegedly $150 cheaper than what Nvidia promises but doesn't actually deliver on, and AMD has taken the last 2 months of delay and started stockpiling GPUs so that there is ample opportunity for people to pick them up on March 6th. Forgot the date for a second. I think AMD might have a shot here. I really, really hope they do. I really want more competition in this space. I really hope the RX 9000 series is it. We don't need a 5090 competitor because the 5090, listen, 5070 Ti, if that's the top of the line for AMD, that's gonna be beautiful, and that's what I'm okay with seeing. And I liked seeing your comments on yesterday's episode of Hot News. We got esports bets saying, if I'm paying roughly $3,000 for a card, I expect no amount of performance drop. Let's not downplay the 5% drop as it's nothing. You're paying a premium price, and for that price, people expect flawless product. Go one little wrinkle that I want to discuss with this. That $3,000 might be a lot to you, but Nvidia sells their GPUs for tens of thousands of dollars. $3,000 for their customers is a pittance. They sell way more than just $3,000 GPUs. So you might expect it, but they don't have to deliver it because it's actually at the bottom of their range, the bottom of their price point. We're at the low end of the totem pole here, friends. And then Rick's summarizing the Ingredia 50 series for us, saying paper launch 2 times the MSRP, fake performance charts, 8 missing ROPs, burning power cables, GPU bricking and block exchange, discontinuation of CUDA 32-bit support, thus affecting physics in older games, bugs in multi-frame gen, removal of hotspots in the 50 series chips, almost no performance improvement when it compared to the 40 series. In some cases, GPUs perform 10 to 12% worse than the previous gen because of the missing ROPs. Or to be able to buy the 40 series by discontinuing the 40 series. It just works with certain leather jacket wearing spokesman. I have a couple disagreements with certain things, but on the whole, that I forgot already of the hotspot removal. What was that with that, NVIDIA? Put hotspot on your graphics cards, goodness. And then Ashton saying, I want to see the 9070 XT versus the 7900 XTX. There's a reason we're not getting that. I don't think it's going to paint the 9070 XT in the best light. Maybe it wouldn't in performance, maybe it would in price to performance, but AMD probably not looking to compare flagship to what they're considering a high-end mid-tier card. It's just not their bag. The 7900 GRE being the mid-tier card is kind of what they were going for. And then today's video sponsor being on yesterday's episode of Hot News, Falcon Northwest, saying, congratulations on your 10th anniversary, UFD Tech. You guys are wonderful to work with. You make enjoyable content, and you haven't forgotten this enthusiast PC is all about having fun. Here's to your next 10. Thank you, Falcon Northwest. We went out to lunch yesterday to celebrate. Just had a nice time with the US team. I'm gonna take the South African team out to lunch when I go visit them sometime soon. It's been a wild 10 years, over 1 billion views, over 1 million subscribers, thousands of videos, tons of impact in my personal life just from being able to provide for my son's extraordinary medical needs and being able to relocate wherever we need to in order to seek his care. This job has continuously been a source of hope and privilege that I very much appreciate, and I don't want to lose sight of the fact that this is a ridiculous job. I know a lot of people are like, job, you just sit in front of a camera and talk. I get it. It's weird. I know. It's like, I'm not trying to make more of it than it is, but it has been such a cool journey to be on, not just to enrich myself, but also, take care of my family, but then also build a team here, right? We're now up to Tyler, Michael, Chris, Nunu Gungaga, Reece, Catlin, Rikus, Jason's back, and me. Oh, and Josh, the other editor. We're at 10 people here at UFD Tech for 10th anniversary. It's been a wild journey, just being able to have some members on the team for a very long time. Reece has been around for over 7 years at this point. Catlin's been around for 6 years? This is our 6-year anniversary. Kyler's been here for 3 years. Rikus has been on and off. Jason just came back. He was a big part of the content improvement in 2019. It was sad to see him go, and now we have him back in the fold. It's just been a beautiful privilege to be able to not just provide for myself, but also give opportunity for other people to pursue this kind of career. I've enjoyed it. So thank you for the 10 years, everybody. I don't know if I'm going for another 10. I'm not here to predict the future. 10 years ago, I would have never thought I would be here right now. So we'll just take it tomorrow. See what tomorrow holds. Maybe more hot news. See you then.